Hey folks, welcome back to the Feroz Moto channel. Today we are swapping out the brake fluid on my NC3 Miata. If you guys don't know, brake fluid is super important to swap out. As you know with me, I do like to drive pretty hard in the mountains and eventually at the track, so we want to make sure we have a good and safe high temp .4 fluid in there. Today I have some Castrol SRF I got from a good friend Dave, and we're gonna see how it goes. I've had this on my M3. I know other people have it on their other cars, and we call it the liquid gold when it comes to brake fluid. It's not something you wanna mess with when you're out there driving hard. Last thing you want is a soft brake pedal when you're expecting it to be firm and give you that confidence when you're in those braking zones. Currently, I'm not sure what is in the vehicle right now, but it is pretty old and dark, so we're gonna do a full flush. Hopefully we have enough fluid to get out there, but huge shout out to my neighbor and good friend Eric for allowing me to work in his really nice garage. You guys will see definitely some of the stuff in the future on the channel, but right now we're currently working on getting the car up with the quick jacks. So once we're up, we will remove the wheels and we'll start with the flush. So we're gonna use a motive pressure bleeder, I believe. If not, just the old school way. Since there's two of us, we're gonna be pumping it and getting it all out, but I wanna make sure that this fluid is good to go. As you know, I'm planning to bring this car down to the Taylor Dragon and for the mountain runs in the spring, so we're gonna be good and well set to go. I already did the brake pads, rotors, and pad swap already, so together I think it's gonna be good. I'm not sure it's gonna be anything super noticeable in the change, but I'm sure once I'm out there really cooking it, I'm gonna get some more confidence back in my driving. So stay tuned, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully it's a very smooth process. These cars are very easy to work on, and we're gonna have some fun doing it. Alrighty, let's get to work. Alrighty, we just got the car up with the quick jacks. Kind of my first experience using these guys, but really, really cool. Just gotta make sure, of course, that you are set up on the reinforced pinch weld area. But now that we're up, we're gonna work on taking off the wheels and tires on this car, and then we can start getting some access to the brakes. So that's the next step. Alrighty, so we just took off all the wheels and tires on all four corners. And here we're going to be using a kind of turkey baster method to take out as much of the old fluid as we can, so we don't introduce that back in there. So we have it right here, OEM tools. Pretty nice, gonna go in, put it to a nice spot, and then we can start filling in the new stuff and pumping it out. You always wanna start with the farthest side first, I believe, and then you siphon and pump to the closest one, being probably the driver's side front. So see how it goes. Whoa. The forbidden turkey baster. Cool. And this stuff is extremely acidic. So you want to make sure it does not touch any paint. If it is, use some brake cleaner or something to clean it up, as this is some gnarly stuff. So please be careful, use proper gloves, eyewear, everything, and make sure you're doing good time. So you see, we kind of sucked up as much as we did. Might go in for a little more, as like I said, it helps to doing the most you can now versus later, so you don't have to keep pumping it out at the furthest spot. So once you start seeing the new clean fluid come out the lines, then we know that we are doing our job with getting the new fluid through the lines. So we're in the rear here. We have this little cool bleeding tool. It's gonna hang and have it connect to the bleeder valve that we have here. Just trying to figure out what size this is so we can crack it open and start pumping the brakes to get out the fluid. I have a tripod here, so I'll show you guys what it looks like. So we're almost there. So we're gonna work on filling this guy up with our new fluid. Like I said, we're gonna be using the Castrol SRF Racing, some of the good stuff. And we have this pretty cool gravity feeder type of solution that's gonna screw into the top of this guy. It's gonna sit on top of the little reservoir cap just to make sure we're not inducing any air. Once it gets to the lower line, it'll make sure that it is feeding properly so we're not getting any air in the line. So looking forward to try this method out. Haven't done it before. Compared to a traditional pressure breather and everything, I know the fittings are a bit different compared to our German cars that we're used to. So this is the method that works, and we're gonna give it a shot. I'm going to move us to the back there, where I'm gonna be opening the little bleeding valve while Eric's gonna be pumping the brakes with this going on, and we'll see the old stuff go through the lines. So exciting stuff. Liquid gold.
And you can see like the color difference is crazy.
Yeah, compared to the other stuff.
Yeah, it's like crystal.
Mm-hmm. That's what you want. You don't want any black or dark fluid. It's not good. What happens is over time the fluid starts to absorb moisture, and once you're driving hard and getting heat into those, that moisture obviously expands and doesn't give you a firm hydraulic press with the brakes, and that's when you have a lot of fade, and you don't want that in the car. So This guy is the high temperature stuff, so it won't boil, and that's what we want when we're driving the car hard out in the mountains and such. So super excited. Let's get this guy going. So we're gonna work on filling it up now. Hopefully this is not gonna make a mess, and we'll have it go till we get to a certain spot, and then we'll start with the pumping.
So it's already starting to fill.
Cool. So we start hearing it, and then eventually we'll see it. But we're just gonna get just enough to make sure we are not airbound on this guy.
So as you can see, look at the reservoir difference alone.
Yep, we can see the line here now. Before it was right around here, where we used that turkey baster type of tool to get as much out. Now we have a new baseline in the top. And of course, like I said, we don't want to get way too low where it's going to start inducing air. And make sure we're in a good working area as we're pumping it out. So we're now going to go to the side, start pumping, and actually start bleeding the brakes properly. Let's do it. So Eric is going to do 3 pumps, and then I'm going to crack it loose. And with this mechanism here, we're going to see it come out. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
So 1, 2, 3, hold.
Crack to left.
All right, tighten it.
Okay.
It's tight.
Yep.
I'm going to look at the reservoir now. Just to
Sure.
see where we're at.
As you guys see here, we have very little fluid coming out in the bottom. Like I said, this is not a gigantic car, not a lot of brake fluid, not a lot of pressure for this guy. So we did the bulk of the majority, but you can already see how much darker it is in the bottom. Over time, it will clear out with this solution, but this is progress, so good stuff.
Okay.
All right, yep, we're gonna do this 5 more times, guys. Let's do it. And as you guys can see, it is slowly but surely filling up with all this dark old fluid. Be sure, of course, to keep checking the reservoir. That's what Eric's doing right now to make sure we're not going below that spot. And we could hear auditorily him squeezing that bottle. He's slowly but surely topping it off again to make sure we have enough fluid to keep pumping it out.
Right. How are we looking color-wise over there?
Good. It's pretty dark.
All right, so let's do this side now. I'm gonna. All right, you got this snug, right?
Yeah.
All right, so snug it a little bit.
Okay.
I would snug it a little more, and then what we'll do is we'll torque them to spec when we're done.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now we're gonna move to the next corner.
Good. Ah, perfect. Yeah, look at the difference in color.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Pretty gnarly stuff. We don't want that. Alrighty, now we're on the driver's side rear, and we're gonna do the same shebang.
And we'll go 3 times.
Yep.
Check the reservoir. 3 times reservoir.
Yep.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Hold. Tighten.
Okay. So that sound we're hearing with that. What is that?
It's just pressure relief.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, yep, we're gonna do 3 pumps, check reservoir, 3 pumps, check reservoir, and then probably move to the next side. But overall, we are doing a great job in removing out all the nasty contaminants. We move to the next one?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So we want to take this off without making a huge mess. And then we'll move on to the...
Pass me the bottom, you grab everything else.
Yep.
So we got this guy, perfect.
Alrighty, so we're gonna hit this 4 more times, and then we're gonna hit the driver's side, and it should be good to go. Let's do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Tight.
Yep. Alrighty guys, so now we're gonna move on the last spot being the driver's side front. We're almost there. So now we're on the last side being the driver's side front. And let's do one for good. So we're gonna do 4 pumps, check the reservoir, 4 again, and then I'm expecting it to be way cleaner now since we're closest to the reservoir. So let's do it.
1, 2,
Okay. Awesome. Let's take one more look up here with the reservoir. Looking nice and clean in there. And I think we're pretty good.
We'll top her
Off a bit to the max line area. And we are perfect, guys. Perfect to go. Okie dokie, guys. The results speak for themselves. As you see how dark and nasty this stuff is, we do not want this in our bleep moments. So I'm super grateful and thankful that we did this before my upcoming trip and the springtime. Want to make sure we're good to go and rock and roll with this car. Again, like I said, the last thing you want is to have no confidence in your brakes when this car is all about the braking. So looking forward to it. Again, just to show on the top, we just topped off the little reservoir area, put back in our filter cap, have it sitting there, and then we're going to cap it off and be good to go. So I'm going to zip up the rest of the car, being the wheels and everything, and I'm not expecting a huge change in initial impressions with the car, but the pedal I'm sure is going to be a bit firmer, but overall I would say a job well done. And we can't forget the last thing, of course, is to torque up our little bleeder screws. I did look on the forums online. It says to be around 6.8 to 9.8 for the front, about 6.8 to 8 point something for the rear. I'm just going to cut the difference for both and do 7.5. I think it should be fine. I'm going to go out there and do for each of them. Make sure we put the caps back on, as we have here. Really simple plastic guys, slip on and off, and we're good to go. We have it set to about 7.5 Newton meters.
And you'll see this will let us know.
Got our fancy snap-on wrench, and we'll see the magic happen.
There we go.
Beautiful. 7.53. We love it. All right, we're gonna do the rest of the corners now.
Cool. 7.7 Newton meters.
Cool.
And it's brake fluid is one of the most overlooked things.
Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome.
It took a little bit.
Sweet, 7.5 Newton meters. Alrighty guys, all four corners are done. Like I said, we're just gonna put our bleeding cap back on to make sure it doesn't get destroyed by the elements. And we're gonna zip all the wheels back up and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and huge shout out and thank you to my good friend Eric. What an awesome garage, awesome tools, and awesome mentor with helping me get this all figured out and set up properly for me to be safe for my future trips and adventures with this car. With that being said, I really don't think this is a super hard job, but of course always helps having two people there, one to pump and one to crack the bleeder screws. I haven't seen a lot of videos online that kind of go in depth with showing me doing the whole process. I hope this is helpful for any of you guys out there. But here we're just having some fun hanging out. The quick jacks are actually super helpful. I am considering picking one of those up in the case of me not getting a 2-post lift in the future, but hey, can't complain. Definitely saved a lot of time of getting the car up going there. So I'm going to make sure I put all the tools needed down below. Granted, you don't need much for this guy, just to really get the car up in the air, take off those wheels, put them back on, and move on and such. In the end, we also did test out my battery. I was concerned, being it is 5 years old, with the trip coming up, how much charge was left, but Eric had a tool to test it there, and we found out it was in good state. I believe the previous owner had this on a trickle charger, and the battery's in good standing, thankfully, so I don't have to go out and buy another $100 battery. I should be okay. I hope I don't regret saying that now, but here's Eric torquing all the wheels. I didn't even realize we were all just talking with his father-in-law there, having some fun, and it's a good time. So if you guys really enjoy this content, please, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do read every one of your guys' comments, and I appreciate you all for joining me on this journey with this car and everything. We just hit over 1.5 million channel views, which is absolutely insane. I cannot imagine little me having all these people out there watching my stuff. So I'm just here, of course, to share my passion, my love for driving, my love for cars. And if you guys are joining me on this journey, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all the people and friends in my life that allow me to pursue this passion and hobby. And that's enough with me yapping and rambling, but I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is your host, Ryan, Feroz Moto. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.